If you're a young man and you're trying to convince someone of something in a one-on-one setting, whether it be a sales call, whether it be a date or anything of that sort, and the people you're competing against have certain obvious competitive advantages that you cannot compete against. Let's just say you're a one person team and you're competing against industry giants, or let's just say that you are a regular looking guy and the girl is out here telling you that, hey, listen, I only go out with guys who are 6'5", who have $200,000 a month income, uh, they have all these different things, and you are out here and you are like, wow, like there is levels to this and you cannot ever get an opportunity. There's a certain thing that you can do, that is a certain principle of sales that will make sure that you are leveraging your competitive advantage and your strategic position in order to beat these other alternatives. This comes out of a principle that every single position has its own competitive advantage. What I mean is that no matter where you are in your journey or what moves you've played in your chessboard, there's always a competitive advantage that you don't see. That once you learn to leverage it, they are going to admire you and they are going to give you that shot, that opportunity eventually. Have you guys seen that 5-star ad where there's this very attractive girl, she stands there, and a drummer comes and he says that, yeah, I'm the lead drummer, come to my concert, I'm going to get you free tickets. And there comes a actor, he says, hey, I work in the theatrics and I'm the lead actor, you can get a free pass, come watch me act. And then there comes an athlete who says that, yeah, I'm an athlete, I'm the runner for the team, I'll get you free tickets, come watch me run. And then like all the and the girl is just standing there and she's like, who do I go for, who do I go for? And there comes a regular guy without anything, and then he's like, don't worry, I'll take you to all three different places. First we'll go watch the guy who's doing drums, and then we'll go to the acting, and then we'll go enjoy the run, and then we'll go out after that. Yeah. And then she's like, yeah, okay, come, let's go. Did you see how that one guy who didn't have any competitive advantage, I mean, technically, as far as his position goes, had also a competitive advantage that other people did not. They didn't have the time of day, they didn't have the free things that they could otherwise do. That is the principle we're talking about here. Every position that you are currently in has a certain competitive advantage that you can leverage in order to get what you want, right? It's just that we are so blinded by these obvious competitive advantages of other people that we don't look into ourselves to recognize what we have. I'm going to quickly explain to you how to use this and how to structure this and how to convince people of this, but you need to know what this even is. The number one principle that we're following here is that we are playing on people's perceptions. We're playing on the fact that people do not see certain angles that you can see, right? When you're on that sales call and that prospect is telling you, yeah, listen, we have been offered huge contracts with huge MNCs with tens of thousands of employees, those are huge teams, how are you going to compete with them? You sell them on the fact that every layer below, the quality goes down, and since you're a one person team, communicating with you is quick and your quality does not go down, you operate lean, you operate mean. That is basically what you sell them on. And the huge teams cannot compete with this because we have a certain competitive advantage from our position that they don't, and we're able to see it and capitalize on it. When you're on that sales call and the person says that, hey, you have no experience, we have been offered with people who have huge industry experience, that you sell them on the fact that, hey, listen, I know I'm new to the market, and that is why this is an advantage. I'm bringing fresh ideas. I do not follow rule books. I do not follow playbooks like these other huge giants do, which means that you won't look like everybody else. and you're getting fresh ideas into the market, right? There is always a competitive advantage, right? Perception selling is this concept, right? Even on that date, when that girl says, hey, listen, I only go after 6'5" guys, minimum $200,000 a month, minimum million followers, minimum blue eyes, and all that. You sell her on the fact that, hey, listen, while that guy was out there in the gym, while that guy was out there hooking up with random women, I was working on my personality, I was working on my business, I was working on all these different things, right? So you always identify your own competitive advantages in order to pursue that. You're identifying your own competitive advantages, and you're framing the script, framing the questions, framing your pitch based on the fact that your competitive advantage is what they need to be buying, why they need to be buying, right? Every position has one. The reason you think that your position does not is because you haven't looked deeply into it yet, right? Another example that I can think of is when you're on a sales call and the person says, hey, listen, you have no testimonials, like you have moved from this market to that market. Why should I go after you? You sell them on the fact that, hey, listen, I'm so used to dealing with so many different types of clients and giving them so many different types of results that I can figure it out. You always sell them on your competitive advantage, right? You do not sell them on other people's competitive advantage. You do not sell them bashing other people, but you sell them on the fact why the position that you stand at is far greater than your alternatives. In any kind of a one-on-one setting, you can play chess with their fucking mind to sell on your competitive advantage, right? The only real way to do this effectively is to sit down and really actually analyze in any setting in your life what are your competitive advantage. Dating setting, in your relationship setting, in your family setting, in your business setting, in your startup that you've just started, whatever it is, right? Even when you're pitching to a VC, for example, right, you want $1 million, and this VC says that, hey, listen, I only go after series A, and I'm going after these huge companies that have already given proof of market. Why should I go with you? You sell them on the fact that when you can trust me and I prove to you that this is possible, this is going to open up all the other investment opportunities for you on other people like me, right? Every position you can try and sell them on something that you walk away with because of your current standing, right? This is the basic of perception selling. Identify your competitive advantage, sell them on the fact that your competitive advantage is why they need to buy, right? You can compare them to the alternatives and show how your position has its own set of advantages, and those obvious advantages that these other companies have, or other players in the market, or prospects in her dating life have, could potentially be a threat to your prospect success, right? um, I only want a blue eye guy, 6'5", has everything sorted. You can sell it on the fact that, hey, listen, how many women do you think this guy has been with? Do you think he would make a good role model father for your children? Do you think he would make a good long-term partner? Look at the options he has. I've been focused on one woman the whole of my life, and that ended abruptly. I've been focused on my charisma and my personality the whole of my life, while this guy was out here in the gym trying to sleep with as many women as possible. Now I'm just giving examples here. If it's corny, if it's cheesy, I don't give a fuck. It's just to illustrate a point. Every position that you stand at, you can sit down and analyze certain competitive advantage that you have that nobody else has, and potentially win them over through selling them on the fact that those alternatives have their own set of threats as well. This is the basic of perception selling.